Johnny Somali has got to be one of the most astutest people on this planet right now, and boy is he going to absolutely hate his life. Guarantee he's going to hate his life for the next couple of years. So let's talk about what Legal Mindset has to say. I've not talked a lot about Johnny Dickhead for some time, so it's going to be hard to kind of catch up on everything that he's done. So there are a lot of people that have talked about it, so I recommend going checking them out. When you're on trial, one thing is you do not want to give a ton of shit to people, to a country that is going to sentence you and put you away for a long time. You will never want to do that. But Johnny Dickhead could be sentenced, I think, for around about 3 years in prison for what he did in South Korea. And I'll tell you this now. Some free advice, some information is you never want to go to a South Korean prison. You don't want to go to prison at all, especially in another country, even if you want internet clout. You don't. All those people that were kind of egging you on in your chat for doing whatever you're doing, they don't give a shit about you and just want to see you in prison like the dickhead that you are. So yeah, don't go out and do crime. People just absolutely don't.
The trial of Johnny Somali, Ramsey Khalid Ismail was in February, late February, and it absolutely went horribly for him. It could not have gone worse. And one important thing to remember from that was Ramsey Khalid Ismail attempted to apologize and ask for leniency at his last trial. Prosecutors issued a very strong sentencing recommendation, which absolutely scared and shook him in the eyes of everyone who was watching him there in the court, especially the Somali conviction team, which has been there at every single trial, observing, watching, and taking notes, transcribing everything that's going down. And for all intents and purposes, he looked absolutely scared.
First off, why would you insult people when they're the ones who are going to sentence you? Like, why would you? I know that you're scared, Johnny. 100% you're scared right now. But since now that you have your big brown big boy pants on, you got to accept what you did. You caused a lot of commotion. You caused crimes. You broke the law. So all your actions for this all have consequences, and they finally caught up to you, and you have to accept it. There's no kind of running away. You fucked around and now you're finding out. And to be honest, this is something that if he goes to jail, this will send a message to absolutely every nuisance streamer out there not to do this shit. So I'm kind of really happy because I hate seeing this sort of stuff. It's absolutely fucking shit. But only if this now would happen to the YouTube auditors, they generally piss me off. So if that could happen to them, that would be the best thing in the world. And I'd be really happy about this.
But now he's trying to clap back, and he is kind of taking back his apology and going back to his old ways of attacking and insulting Korea right before he comes up to his April sentencing. Definitely not a wise move. And this is something we've seen from him in the past, where he'll go in, he'll not get the attention he wants, not get what he wants, and he'll end up spiraling. And if he keeps spiraling and defying things and trying to fight back, this could end up with another year in jail.
This is generally fucking rare. Like this entire thing right here. You think you would keep your head down after everything that's happened, after your first one? Just keep your head down. Actually be sorry. Don't piss people off. If he had been clean, been decent, absolutely been decent, I bet he would have been out of there really quickly and he would not have spent as much time in South Korea. But he had to be there. He had to make shit content. He thought that after his time in Japan, everyone would be exactly the same. But oh no, did he absolutely find out.
Start out with this. First of all, some fake news from Johnny Somali. He had posted this a while ago saying, oh, I got my deepfake charges dropped. I got everything, removed. Obviously, that is very, very much fake news. In fact, we even have a confirmation from Bong Bong, who was also there along with the Somali conviction team. They had their lawyer access that court information and pull out that, hey, no, the recommendation was 3 years. Nothing was dropped. Everything is there on the record. All of these charges here, all 8 of these charges, including the 2 deepfakes, are still there on the record.
I think you have to be some sort of special kind of stupid when you're doing stuff like this. I generally think that you have to. I mean, why would you go around and say this when people are going to look it up and talk about it? Or any of these people who are involved are going to talk about it or tweet it. We all know that nothing Johnny says is true. He always lies. He's admitted to lying. He is going to continue to lie to get out of things, and then later on make a stream, admit that he was lying like he did in Japan, and then laugh at them all because they're all stupid. It's so fucked up. So him saying all the charges for the deepfakes were dropped just means he's a fucking liar and not to be trusted at all. I mean, look at all the things that he has done and that he has pled guilty to. This is just insane, to be honest. And now he's resorted back to insulting South Korea. He went after the judge a while ago and said some heinous shit about that. This is so fucked up that someone would go over to South Korea and think it's okay to do all of this stuff for content. And I'm so glad that South Korea is going to do this to him and finally put him in jail. I hope that they slam him for the deepfakes, as that would be the best thing ever.
Let's go further to his apology before we get to what he said recently. So once again, remember this apology. This is what he said in court. He was saying he sincerely apologizes for his actions and expresses remorse. He says, I've been held captive in Korea for a year and a half, during which time I've committed no crimes and learned to integrate into the society. So he's saying, okay, no, I'm now an appreciator of Korean society. I'm integrated, right? I'm part of this. I love Korea now, right? I did some foolish things under the influence of alcohol and realized the consequences. I sincerely apologize for that. Having been born and raised in the United States, I did not realize how serious the consequences of these actions were, which would not be considered criminal in the United States, but could be in Korea.
This guy is 25 years old. Like, seriously, what the fuck? We all know he wanted to get clout. It's always, I'm the silly American and I didn't know anything about this and no one told me about anything, and I thought it was okay because the American laws apply all around the world and, no other laws apply. It's just American only. Like, how fucking stupid do you think everybody is? Like, generally, Johnny, like, how? I am very confused. You didn't even bother looking up the laws, but you just didn't care because you thought that South Korea was going to be like Japan. What a bellend.
You know what's really pissing me off, chat? Let me tell you what's really pissing me off. I think Korea is one of the stupidest countries in the world. I think Korea is one of the most stupid countries in the world. I don't even think Korea is a first world country. I honestly think Korea is probably a second world country at best. They put on the mask and the plastic surgery, majority of the here got plastic surgery. I think this country is a second world country at best, because how are you so stupid?
Why would you even say this? Like, why would you even stream this? Everyone knows that you aren't the victim at all. You've committed these crimes, and what's worse is that your non-apology means nothing. When you go back to court and they see all of this, they're not going to believe anything you say. You're so fucking retarded. What is it with this guy? Like, what is actually fucking wrong with him? The fact that this grown man is crashing out over what he has done, he can't stand it. He thought he would be in America or back in Japan doing the same sort of shit over and over and over again.
Now, what are some of your next plays? I don't know if you want to give away the game or anything, but
I'm going to Los Angeles to do a 30-day, 24/7 live stream. I have a condo ready and already booked in LA. I'm going to put the address out public to IP2, to YouTube, to everybody, to Rumble. Anybody could walk into my condo at any time in Los Angeles with anything and just bring content. We're just going to do a 30-day social experience like Black Mirror, some fucking fish tank shit with Somali tank. I'm going to kick it off with doing the no jump. I'm going to kick it off with doing the no jumper interview with Adam. Maybe do a with a Japanese girl and do some fucking World War II cosplay, get the shit popping on Twitter, and then 30 days camera does not turn off with a cameraman live, HD, mic like this, quality up.
It's laughable, to be honest, actually laughable. Although, if he had a house set up for 30 days, then I think that some people would just go to it to smack the shit out of him. And I could imagine he would absolutely shit himself, constantly just be running in the back, hiding behind whatever, and going, yo, chill, relax, and that's it. That's all he would do. He's a fucking retarded piece of shit. We all know that if he did a World War II cosplay, then he would just be cosplaying as his favorite person in the entire world, and that guy's name begins with H. You can generally just picture in your mind him all dressed up like him, but the idea of doing this, that he would again shit himself if someone came up to him and did anything. He would get their attention, don't get me wrong, he would get the attention that he so deserves, but not in the best way. And I'm glad that none of this is happening whatsoever.
But let's get back to the proposed sentence and just reinforce this, because there's some details that need to be clarified here. So the prosecutor recommended 3 years in prison with labor, a fine of 150,000 won, and sex offender registration. And I've said before, it's probably going to come out to about 2 years. I would recommend, okay, the judge goes under the recommendation, so 2 years. That's something that can be very reasonable with labor. Fine and registration as a sex offender. Also, his 2 smartphones are forfeited. So a lot of people were confused about prison labor. So I wanted to go back and hit on this because people were misquoting this or saying that they were going to send him to the gulag, and I said something like he's going to go be sent to North Korea. No, this isn't like human rights violation stuff, guys. With labor just distinguishes from imprisonment without labor. And labor is physical labor. So you might say that's more strenuous than office labor, correct? But this is not working in a mine. This is not like you're on a chain gang, right? This is something where it's more like factory labor. It's going to be very, very, very monotonous. And to be very clear, the labor prison is not the foreigner prison. So the foreigner prison is more cushy. It's more comfortable. They have a lot of amenities. They have a lot of classes. They have a lot of things to do there. If you go to a prison with labor, you are not going to the specialty foreigner prison. You are going to a labor prison. That is absolutely different. So he will be jailed with mostly Koreans, not mostly foreigners. So he's not getting the comfy prison. He's getting the one that's for labor. And as a sex offender, when he'll have to register for that, he can't interact with non-criminals. So he'll likely be doing factory labor. So making fish cakes, making license plates, cleaning the prison, maybe the toilets and the showers. Hopefully he doesn't drop the soap. We'll see. Agricultural and outside work, unfortunately for the cabbages, may be off the table.
Imagine going to jail for some clout and a few viewers that were watching him. Imagine not making as much money as you think you would just to be put in prison and having to go and do hard labor and get nothing out of it. I love that he's getting his karma and it's coming back to him in spades. Like it's buckets of karma is just coming his way. And it's just absolutely funny. It's fucking amazing. As soon as his sentencing comes in, then he's going to get slammed. He's going to cry. The fact that more people have made money off him than him is generally the best thing. It's pure gold, as they say. You know that as soon as he gets out, he will stream and he'll say something like, Japan, you know what I did in South Korea. You know what I did in you was absolutely insane, and I'm going to be 10 times worse. And you know he's going to do it because he thinks that that's the best way of doing it. He ruined his life thinking he was going to make money, be this big shot, and now he's going to jail, and he will be put on the sex offenders list as well. So he's truly fucked up his life. What for? A little bit of clout? Yeah, it just didn't work, did it, mate? If you want to go check out the rest of Legal Mindset's video or the full version without me talking, then go check it out. It's going to be in the description below. Johnny is going to prison. He's going to learn the hard way. And when he gets out in a few years, as I said, he's just going to do this all over again because he thinks that this is the best option. Now, I hope that he gets humbled. I hope that prison breaks him properly. But the guy is a massive loser and a massive cunt at the same time. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this guy? Let me know down below in the comments. Hopefully I'm going to make more videos over time. But at the moment, I just really wanted to talk about this guy. And with that, I'll leave it here.